Today's video isn't about a game, it's about a procedural music generator that's free to download on Steam, and it's called Robo Maestro. It's one of those tools that looks like a really cutesy playful thing on the surface, but if you get underneath it, there's actually something very, very powerful here that could be very useful for people if you're looking to get started in creating music but don't necessarily have all the skills in music theory to know how, and it gives people a good leg into starting to be creative with music, which I think is always welcome. Robo Maestro is split into two very distinct modes. You've got the Maestro mode, which is where you should start and initially kind of just muck about with the tool, and then you have the editor mode, which is where all of like the real powerful tools under the hood are hiding. Maestro mode basically sees your little robo playing out whatever the melody is with its funky little fingers, and the idea is that it's running in a very simple dum 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 4x4 beats to the bar as it goes through procedurally generated seeds of music. So you've got like drums, bass, arpeggios, slides, melodies, additional kind of pitches, sprinkles as they call them as well. And so these different layers all have their own procedural algorithms that all combine together so that it's pulling from thousands of different ideas but creating something totally unique for your experience. And it doesn't sound terrible because everything kind of matches, and then what it does is it pulls together a chord progression over the top. And obviously those chord progressions are being pulled from seeds as well, so it's not going to throw something like ridiculously out of tune at you. So it gets you creating something very simply without having to really think too much about it and enjoy just the fun of creativity. If you want to change something up, these circles are constantly bubbling out from the centre. That could be making something faster or slower, switching around instruments so it goes from chiptune to all piano, for example, or it could be that you're changing from acoustic to synth. It could be that you're removing out everything so that it's just the Simpson melodies, or it could be doing a drum breakdown for 4 beats before it then kicks back in again with the melody. Whatever it is that you're clicking on, it allows you to just alter the music around so that you feel like you're the arbiter of your own creation. The real key to this though is when you go into edit mode, because suddenly everything is available for you to really fine tune. So here you can add up loads and loads and loads of different layers, and they don't all have to be like one drum, one bass, one synth, one melody, one sprinkle. You can have several drum loops running all at once. You can change the volume of them. You can alter the octave of them so that they can go higher or lower in pitch. The seeds, and there are like hundreds of thousands of them by the looks of it, it's allowing you to kind of move across, and whilst you can't automatically program in like for a MIDI keyboard on the screen like a digital audio workstation the kind of melodies and patterns that you want to create, the algorithms take care of all of that for you, so you can just keep on flicking around and changing seeds and seeing what the melody brings. You can then start to save sections of your music into like blocks basically, and then build them in the loop editor into a song editor and create entire songs with transitions in. In this mode you can also override the BPM, you can override the chord progressions, you can see the chords in real time kind of changing around in front of you, and really one of the things that kind of made me go ooh is that you can also change the timing signature. So instead of it being a very simple 4x4, you can do like 7/8 or 5/8 or 3/4, and then you can change the steps so that if you're doing 5/8 it can go 3/2 or 2/3 in that 8th bar kind of run. So it really did start switching up all of the different things that you can do, and then you can mix and match all of these different loops together in your song editor, and then amazingly export it all out as either a MIDI file or a WAV file together as one big huge thing, or as individual layers. And so if you are more musically inclined and you want to take this further, you can then import those MIDIs, or waves to be fair, into your digital audio workstation, like so I use Propellerhead Reason, but you've got like Cubase, GarageBand, all those kind of things. We'll pull it in, and then it makes it malleable in terms of, I don't know, you might play guitar and then you're recording real live guitar over the top of a randomly seeded chiptune, for example. I wasn't prepared for this being as powerful and as flexible and usable as it is. And as a free tool, I think that's just fantastic. So that's why I wanted to spend today's video talking about how good I think Robo Maestro is for anyone who's looking to get started on that music creation journey, but doesn't necessarily know the theory or have the practical tools like a keyboard or a guitar or I don't know, a drum kit or something like that, and just wants to kind of start to go, oh, do you know what, this section of chords go really well together, and yeah, I can start bringing in and out parts of music so that it feels good. So yeah, thumbs up from me. Love this tool. Am I going to spend hours and hours in it? Probably not. But it's one of those ones where I just kind of go in and tinkle for a little bit, and then I come up with something like, actually that sounds quite good. Export, and then start working with it in my digital audio workstation. So yeah, Robo Maestro, free to download and own on Steam.
Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.